Oops, right there. Okay, if you want to put your hands on your body anywhere, you're welcome to. Maybe one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, and both hands to the belly. I think I know all of you in here, but if there's any new faces, my name is Lisa. Oh my gosh, Amanda. I didn't recognize you. My eyes are fuzzy. Remember, my eyes are getting older, so I don't lock you in at first. That's why. All right, so one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, maybe both hands to the belly, or arms by the sides, of course, is fine. Let's just take a moment or two to kind of tune in and notice how you feel in your body. Maybe places that are holding extra tension, tightness, stress, worry. Right? Places that feel fairly open, fairly free. Right? Remember, we're not looking necessarily for one thing over the other, but just working to notice and acknowledge what is present. Okay, and remember what will help with that is a mind that is clear and illuminative. So we're going to work the mind into a state of sattva. And that is most easiest achieved through establishing a steady breath so that your inhales and exhales are equal in length. Remember, if you want to adjust how you're positioned on the earth, you're more than welcome to do that at any time. Okay, so start to shape your breathing in such a way that your inhales and exhales again are equal. And if you like, and it calls to you, can put a pause at the top of your inhale and at the bottom of your exhale also. Remember, the pausing of the breath is a good way to help also to pause the mind. And again, work to establish that state of sattva. So sattva is illuminative, it is clear, it enables you to see with more accuracy. Think of it sometimes like a mirror, like the surface of a mirror that's reflecting whatever is in front of it. When the mind is super active in a rajasic state, that surface is disturbed, and oftentimes the things we see can be distorted. And same on the opposite end. If the mind is in more of a tamasic state, then it's a little cloudy, harder to see. And your breath will help with both states, both rajas and tamas, so you can find a place of sattva, of illumination, clarity. So just take another few rounds of this breath, right? Remember, inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And then after the next exhale and your pause there, just let your breath move in and out as it will, without the pausing, I mean. And start to move the fingers and the toes. Just run the thumb along the tip of the fingers a little bit, wiggle your toes around. And then start to rotate the wrists and eventually reach your arms overhead as you extend the legs straight. And then reach. Maybe interlace your fingers and press your palms towards the back of the room. Flex your feet. Take a big breath in. Reach to the stretch your body. And then exhale, hug the knees to the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze in. You could rock from side to side or rotate the knees around in a circle. A couple times one way and then the other. Good, and then extend the legs up towards the sky or feet up towards the sky. Flex the feet, kick through your heels. Open the legs enough you can just rotate your ankles around a few times. And then go the other way. Snap, crackle, pop. Welcome. Legs, feet, ankles. Kick through your heels and spread your toes. Inhale and exhale. Point your toes to the sky now. Good. Do that again. Inhale, flex the feet. Exhale and point your toes. One more time like that. Inhale to flex and exhale, point. Now flex your feet on your inhale and exhale. Just pause here. Think of rotating your inner thighs towards the front of the room. Reach your arms up and overhead as you breathe in. Let them rest to the floor behind you. Now take another inhale breath here as you exhale. Lower the arms down, bend your knees and set your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up, lift your arms overhead, bridge pose. Exhale, lower the hips to the floor, bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a little hug, Apanasana. Set your feet to the earth, inhale, lift the arms, lift the hips, bridge pose again. Exhale, lower the hips, knees to chest, hug in, Apanasana. Lower the feet to the floor. Inhale, the hips lift, arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms. Bring your knees in. Lift the heels towards the sky, arms overhead as you inhale. And exhale, once again, arms down, feet to the floor. Good, now lift your hips into bridge pose and stay there. Arms can reach overhead and then they can lower down back by the sides of the body. You can keep them reaching overhead if you like. Root your shoulders down into the floor. Push the back of the head gently into the earth and take another inhale breath here. And then exhale, lower the hips, bring your knees in, give yourself a little squeeze again. Good. And then roll over to the right or the left and come up to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment to let things settle as you come to seated. Find a nice tall spine. Okay, rest your hands to your knees, maybe palms up or down, thumb and first finger together, and then let your eyes gently close. Okay, we'll move into a little bit of a little more pranayama. We're going to do some Kapalabhati. Okay. So that's the forceful exhale through your nose. Right, snap the belly back. We'll start to kind of wake up the mind and wake up the body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out. Inhale fully. Exhale and begin. Good, exhale. Now inhale, fill up all the way. Big breath in, lift the chest towards the chin, drop the chin, sip a little more air in and hold. And then exhale it all out. Good, and breathe in and breathe out here. We'll do one more round just like that. Take a deep inhale breath. Exhale it out. Inhale fully. Exhale and begin. Exhale. Inhale, fill up. All the way to the top. Sip a little more air in. And then hold, drop the chin down, pull the navel in and lift from the pelvic floor, and just hold. Release, exhale. And then just breathe in and breathe out. Kapalabhati is like rajas. Right, so it brings a little light, elevation, activity to the mind. And then steady the breath and starts to settle rajas. Engagement at the root, Kapalabhati also lifts kapha, lifts tamas. Not that kapha is tamas necessarily. They share similar qualities. So now we settle kind of in the navel and in the space of the heart. And establish now some ujjayi. So engage the muscles of the throat gently. Notice that on inhale and exhale, another way to clear the mind. And from sattva, then allow an intention to come forth. Anything you want to align the mind with, something you're looking to call in, a discipline of sorts. And as you notice your body breathe in, next bring your hands together at the center of the heart and rub the hands briskly back and forth. Create a little heat between your palms. Take another inhale breath here. As you exhale, release your hands to the sides of the body and shake them out. I like to imagine kind of flicking off any stuff that I don't want to hold on to. So just kind of flick it out of the hands. And then take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the hands to the floor gently. Lift the arms to the sky as you breathe in again. And then exhale the hands to the third eye. A moment to dedicate the mind to a one-pointed thought, image, feeling. Just kind of see or sense it here. Take a deep inhale breath, fill up all the way. Exhale the hands to the heart. A moment just to dedicate the practice to remember the bigger unfolding and the unseen forces at play. We want to align with the forces that are benevolent, that help us. We'll open with 3 rounds of Om. Take a deep inhale breath again. Exhale it all out. Inhale for Om. As you exhale, we'll bow the chin to the chest, and then you can release your hands, allow your eyes to open. I'll have you extend your legs forward out in front of you here for a moment. Bring your hands gently back behind you. Turn your fingers to face back. Just kind of roll shoulders onto the back and lift open the front of the heart. And then same thing, spread the toes nice and wide and kind of press through the soles of the feet. You may even rotate the ankles around again a little bit. Stay here, take an inhale, lift, open the front of the heart, carry your gaze up. As you exhale, pause. And then come back to center on your inhale. Have you cross your legs again, only this time the awkward way, so the one that feels a little different for you. Lift the right arm to the sky as you breathe in, and exhale, slide your left hand out from the hip as right arm lengthens overhead. And now rotate your right wrist around in a circle. So we take the time to kind of set the stage for practice, setting the mind in a like kind of right way, the body in a, so that we're aware of the body, right? Now just hold and reach through the arm, take an inhale and exhale, let your left elbow relax, left shoulder soften. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Lift the heart towards the sky, sweep the arm behind you on your inhale, and then take it all the way around to the front of the left knee. Inhale up to center, bring your left hand behind you, and exhale, just twist, look over your back shoulder. And breathe in and breathe out, right? Remember what we do in practice ultimately is like generate power, right? And how we use that power is kind of up to us, of course. Take another inhale and another exhale. Back to center, inhale the hands to the knees, exhale and pause. And then you'll lift the left arm to the sky as you breathe in. Slide your right hand out from the hip, left arm overhead, and start just by rotating the left wrist around in a circle. A couple times one way and then the other. My phone just died. So we'll just use the rhythm of our breath today. Inhale and exhale, lengthen out left side body, ground down through your left hip. Turn the heart open towards the sky, sweep the arm around behind the back, take it all the way forward to the front of the right knee. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, right hand comes behind as you look over the back shoulder. Breathe in and out. And take one more inhale breath here and one more exhale. Inhale back to center, both hands to your knees, exhale, pause. And now extend the legs wide to the side, as wide as feels comfortable. You may just need to adjust with the friend next to you. Okay. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy, right? And we'll just run the hands down one leg and then the other, just side to side a little bit here. And breathe in and out. Good, come to center, your hands in front of you, onto your legs or back behind you. Take an inhale, flex the feet and lift your heart, and then exhale, just gently fold forward. And breathe in and breathe out. One of the ways Patanjali offers us to not only maintain or find a sattvic mind, but also maintain, is through the practice of pratyahara. So allow the eyes to relax. I like to think of them like my Buddha eyes. You know, just that soft gaze, almost as if looking from the back of the eyeballs. Take another inhale into the heart and another exhale as you fold, and then inhale back up to seated. Bring the hands behind the backs of the knees, draw the legs together and lift the feet from the floor, Navasana, boat pose. And just kind of roll the shoulders onto the back and pull the navel in. You might lighten the load in the hands. They can come away from the legs, they can stay connected. Either way, take an inhale into the front of the heart, another exhale as you stay, draw the navel in. We'll take one more breath in here. Set your feet to the floor, bring your hands back behind you, fingers forward. Roll the shoulders onto the back, lift open the heart, inhale and exhale, root into the earth, and then if you like, as you inhale, lift your hips from the floor. You can kind of rock a little forward and back, drive the knees towards the front of the room a bit. It can stretch the back of the calf. You know, move the weight back into the shoulders, of course, stretching the shoulders. Find a place to hold, push down through your hands and your feet, lift your hips up nice and high, inhale and exhale. And just take one more breath in here. On your exhale, lower your hips to the floor, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop out to the sides, take an inhale, lift the heart, and as you exhale, fold your elbows to the upper inner thighs. And breathe in and out. The practice of pratyahara, we go inward, right? To not only listen to the heart, listen beyond all the chatter of the mind, but to allow ourselves to be guided by something a little deeper, an inner knowing, an inner wisdom. Take one more inhale breath here and one more exhale, and then inhale, come up to seated, and we'll come on to all fours. However you want to get there. Once onto the hands and the knees, just take a moment to shift your hips from side to side. And as you do, carry your gaze over your opposite shoulder. So here's a little lateral stretch for your spine. One way and then the other. Come back to center, or gradually start to take yourself into some rolls with your torso, like barrel rolls, rotate around. These are the things you don't necessarily have to think too much about, although it might be easy to overthink. Try to let your breath kind of move the mind into that sattvic place where you're just watching internally. Then take another inhale, another exhale, come to center. Walk your hands forward and come down onto your elbows. Lift your hips so your hips stack over your knees. And then extend the arms forward and gaze towards the top of the mat if that's all right with your neck. Otherwise, just look for the ground. And then let your heart drop toward the floor. So nice deep stretch for the front of the shoulders, the armpits. Keep your breath steady. Inhale and exhale. Let your heart soften down for the ground. We'll just take one more breath in and one more breath out. Come all the way forward now onto your belly. Stack your hands on top of one another. Rest your forehead to your hands and then turn your toes to face out so the arches of your feet face the earth. You can give a little wiggle of your hips from side to side. You might even bend your knees and drop your feet from side to side if you like. Keep your breath steady, right? So regardless of the pose that we're in, whether it's a challenging pose for you or one that's maybe less challenging, can you keep your breath as the steady constant? Take another inhale, and as you exhale, if the feet were lifted or moving the legs, just extend them back and point your toes straight back now. Bring your head up, bring your hands back by your low ribs for cobra pose, but then relax. Good. Take an inhale, lengthen the heart forward and lift up into cobra as you breathe in. Exhale and lower down. Think of building energy in the front of the heart on your inhale, lengthen forward and lift up. Use the strength of the back as you broaden the collarbones. Exhale, lower to the floor. And then one more time like that on your inhale, lengthen forward and lift the heart. Relax the legs and feet. Exhale and lower to the floor. Good. To child's pose, please. Your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes to touch. Inch your hands towards the top of the mat and breathe in and breathe out. You might even pull the navel in a little bit and feel your low back expand. It's a nice stretch, of course, for the knees and the ankles. Just notice any limits in the body and see if gradually you can start to stretch those limitations. And take another breath in here and one more breath out. And then as you inhale, lift your hips, curl your toes under and straighten your legs, coming into downward dog. And then just pedal out your legs a little bit. Stretch one heel and then the other toward the floor. And breathe in and out. Take another inhale and another exhale. And then just hold the posture. Soften the knees a little bit. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Good. Feel the inner thighs spiral toward the back of the room as the sitting bones gently lift, but keep the knees soft. Awesome. And then just kind of trace the energy down the length of the spine. Take another inhale breath here. Exhale, gently walk the feet up to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Shift around a little bit, lift and spread the toes, take the weight into the ball of the feet and then back into the heels. Remember, this is a great place to just adjust. Maybe your feet feel better, a little wider today. Maybe they feel better, a little more narrow. And remember, feel better is also something that can be reflected in your breath. So it's not just about physiologically feeling better, but also how the adjustment of the posture affects your breathing. Right? And remember, we want the breath to stay steady, and so we want our postures to reflect a place where the breath can be steady. Now take another inhale here and one more exhale. Let your upper body relax towards the floor. And now as you breathe in, slowly round your spine and come all the way up to standing. So pull the navel in and kind of roll the shoulders. And then as you come all the way to stand, rotate the shoulders around in a circle a few times. Remember, relax the eyes and soften the jaw. Okay. Let your shoulders relax onto the back and then soften the knees. And just establish for a moment Tadasana. So spread the toes nice and wide, root down through all four corners of the feet. Soften the knees and stack the ankles, hips, knees. And then lift the gaze so it comes up towards the horizon, just right out in front of you. Think of the head stacking on top of the spine and like an opening in the front of the chest and the throat. Good. Inhale, extend the arms towards the ceiling. Lift them tall towards the sky. And as you exhale, lower the arms down. So we'll just bring them right out in front of you. As you inhale, lift the arms towards the ceiling. Stay rooted through the feet. And exhale, lower the arms down. Now this time as you lift your arms, take your heels up and off the floor. Come onto the ball of the feet. Exhale, lower your heels to the earth as your arms lower down. And do that again. Inhale, lift up, lift the heels from the floor. Exhale, lower the heels and lower the arms. Tricky little pose, right? Inhale, lift up, the heels rise. Arms reach overhead, and then exhale, lower the arms and lower the heels down. Good. Now just the arms towards the sky on your inhale. Keep your feet rooted. Soften the knees, and now as you exhale, hands come through the heart, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Relax your head. Lift up halfway. Inhale, lengthen, and now step the right foot to the back of the mat. Come into a low lunge. You put the hands to the floor under your shoulders or use your blocks. Breathe in and out. Remember, we want left knee and ankle to align. So you can always scooch and adjust your feet so that your alignment is there. And again, remember your blocks. Blocks can sometimes help re-engage the space in the body so you can breathe steady. Okay, take another inhale and another exhale. Now plant your hands to the floor and step your left foot back. Now plank pose. Inhale and exhale, pause. Shift the weight forward a little bit on your next breath in and then lower all the way or drop knees and then chest to the floor. Point your toes and lift your heart. Inhale into cobra. Exhale down to the ground. Inhale to plank or child's pose. And then exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. The sattva is not just a state for the mind, but a state you can bring the body into. An energy and awareness you can cultivate through your whole being. Take an inhale breath here and one more exhale. And as you breathe in next, lift the right leg to the sky. On your exhale, pull it all the way through to the top of the mat. Pause here now in right-legged lunge and just stay. And there's your blocks if you want. Take a breath in and a breath out. Remember, right knee and ankle aligned now. Left leg extends back. Pull the navel in and think of your hips nice and square. Right hip draws back a little, left hip forward. Now take an inhale, lift to the top of the mat. As you exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand, lift the arms to the sky. And exhale, your hands to your heart center. Good, release your hands, lift your arms. Inhale, stretch up. Forward fold on your exhale, Uttanasana. Stretch out and down through the spine. Relax the head, lift up halfway, inhale. Step your left foot to the back of the mat into low lunge. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale and pause. Place your hands to the earth, and on your inhale, step your right foot back to plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way or stop halfway, chaturanga. You can always use your knees to the earth. Inhale, upward dog or cobra pose. Exhale to downward facing dog or lower to the floor, plank or child's pose, and then downward dog. And breathe in and breathe out. Good. Pull the navel in, soften the knees a little bit. Take another inhale, another exhale. Lift the left leg to the sky as you breathe in next. Exhale and draw it through to the top of the mat, low lunge. Pause here for a moment, take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, step up to the top of your mat, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale to stand, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, the hands to the heart center. Good. We'll go through again a little quicker this time. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Forward fold on your exhale.
Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen, right foot steps back, low lunge, exhale. Left foot steps back, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way or stop halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, broaden the collarbones, reach through your feet. Exhale, downward dog or lower to the floor, plank or child, then downward dog. Breathe in and out. Soften the knees a little bit. Pull the navel in and lift up through your sitting bones. Another inhale, another exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky, reach it back. Exhale through to the top of the mat, low lunge. Inhale, step your left foot forward, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale to stand, lift the arms to the sky, reach up, maybe lean back even. And then hands to heart center as you exhale. Good, inhale, both arms to the sky, reach up. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Left foot steps back, low lunge, exhale. Right foot steps back, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way or stop halfway, chaturanga. Push down into the hands and lift the heart forward and up. Reach back through your feet. Exhale the hips to the sky or lower to the floor, plank or child's pose, then downward dog. And breathe in and breathe out. Good, again, inhale, remember your intention. Exhale and soften the gaze, the eyes. On your inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, look through to the top of the mat, low lunge. Inhale, step right foot forward, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold, press all the breath out. Inhale all the way to stand, the arms to the ceiling. And then exhale your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes and connect inward. Just notice what you feel. Where you sense presence unfolding or light. Where your energy or attention is drawn. And remember, if you're unsure, that's okay. Take a breath in here as you exhale, lower the arms down. And now bend the knees, lift the arms, inhale into chair pose. Exhale and stay. Sit the weight into the heels. Pull the navel in, inhale, lift open the heart. Now keep the knees bent, but drop the chest over your thighs. Let your hands relax, your head relax. Inhale, lift yourself back up into chair pose. Exhale and stay. Inhale, rise to stand, straighten the legs, and then exhale, sit your hips back, down, hands to heart center, chair pose. Inhale, extend the arms to the ceiling, reach up. Exhale, fold, chest to thighs, hands and head towards the floor. Inhale, back into chair. Exhale, stay as you sit down in the legs. Inhale, rise to stand, and exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we're gonna do that again. Inhale, both arms reach up. Sit your hips down, exhale, chair pose. Relax the shoulders, inhale into the front of the heart, exhale and fold, chest to thighs, hands relax, head relaxes. Inhale, lift back up, chair pose. Exhale and stay. Inhale to stand, and exhale, hands to heart. Good, one more time. Inhale, both arms reach up. Sit your hips down as you exhale, weight is in the heels. Inhale, lift open the heart. Exhale, chest to thighs, hands towards the floor. Head relaxes. Inhale, back up, chair pose. Exhale and stay. Good. Inhale to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Legs straight now. Lift up halfway. Inhale. And now plant your hands and step your feet back, plank pose. Now pause and plank and bring your legs together. Shift the weight to the left hand. Come onto the pinky toe side of your left foot and lift the right arm to the sky for Vashisthasana, side plank. You can set your left knee on the floor underneath your hip. Flex all 10 toes and draw the feet open like the floor could tilt to meet the soles of your feet. Yeah, and then inhale, open the front of the throat and reach the right arm overhead. Tap into the navel and the inner thighs, the pelvic floor as your hip lifts open. Take an inhale. And one more exhale, then maybe a little smile, side plank smile. Inhale, lift the right arm to the sky, exhale, lower the hands to the floor, the right hand to the floor. Let's just knock out the left side, so come on to the right hand. Pinky toe side of right foot, lift left arm to the ceiling. Support your body as you need, right? Remember, that's what keeps the breath steady. It's not like, sometimes the ego has something to say about all that, but ego shmigo. Take another inhale and exhale the left arm overhead. Good, and breathe in and out. Flex through the feet, squeeze from the inner thighs. You can do it. Move the head back and the throat open. Let energy move through you. One more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, lower the hand, plank pose. Take a breath in. You can lower down through chaturanga if you want, or the earth. Inhale to up dog or cobra, and then to downward facing dog. You can always take a break in child pose for a moment, or meet us in downward dog as you're ready. Soften the knees, take an inhale, and exhale, lengthen down through the crown. Good, take another inhale here. As you exhale, bring your legs together, your big toes to touch, and as you inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and drop your foot behind your back on your exhale. Soften the left heel to the floor. Think of lifting from the left side chest even, left lower ribs. Take another inhale breath here and one more exhale. Kind of work through your right toes, spread them out a little bit. Good, extend the right leg straight on your inhale and draw the foot through to the top of the mat. Turn your left foot flat and come up to face the plants, warrior two. Breathe in and breathe out. So the mind is constantly moving through these three gunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva. Plant the left foot to the floor, right? And lift from the left arch of the foot all the way up to the inner thigh. Your hips and shoulders square towards the side. There's a tendency to draw this left hip forward. So see if instead you can kind of square it towards the side of the room. That might dive the right knee in, but now it's kind of a play between finding a place of stability. It's like rajas and tamas and finding sattva, right? Flip the palms open towards the sky. Take an inhale and exhale. Stay in the legs, lift your arms to the ceiling and grab your right wrist as you exhale, stretch back, reverse your warrior. Roll the shoulders back and down and pull in from the pelvic floor. And then maybe sink into the legs a little deeper as you reach back. Awesome, straighten your right leg on your inhale, release the hands, and on your exhale, reach forward. Set your hand to your shin, your left arm to the sky, triangle pose. Sometimes triangle likes a shorter stance, so you can always toe and heel your back foot in a little bit. Remember that you're looking for any variation or modification that you take to immediate feedback through your breath. Does that help things settle so that I can remain calm and clear and be able to see accurately as possible? Right now, open the front of the throat on your inhale, move your head back a little bit. Exhale, pull the navel in and draw the shoulder blades behind you. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, and as you exhale, bend the right knee into warrior two again. Now this time, stay open in the body, but just turn your head so your chin comes over your right shoulder and your gaze is forward. But attention still reaches back through the left side. Take one more inhale breath here. Exhale, place both hands to the floor either side of your right foot. Inhale, step your right foot back. You could keep it lifted if you like as you lower to chaturanga. You could always meet us in downward dog if you like. You can put your knees to the ground. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale your hips to the sky, downward dog. So many paths to the same place. Each one of us is going to have a different way to get to sattva and different techniques in order to help ourselves remain there. Some of you will be able to remain there longer than others. It's okay, right? It's all part of the journey. Bring your legs together, your big toes to touch, and on your inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Bend your knee and drop your foot behind your back. Think of lifting from the right side ribs. And then spread the left toes, lift your left knee up towards the sky and reach back through your foot. Now extend the left leg straight on your inhale and pull it all the way through to the top of the mat. Turn your right foot flat, come up to face the side for warrior two. And breathe in and out. Bend the left knee and align left knee and ankle, and then just check in, right? Turn your gaze towards the side, square your hips and shoulders towards the side. And notice how that right hip draws back. Notice what that does with the left knee. And find a place where the knee can stay supported as the hip starts to open. Relax the shoulders back and down. Take an inhale and exhale. Lift the arms to the sky and grab your left wrist and then pull the torso back as you bend the left knee. Now think of lifting your left hip kind of up and off the thigh. The right hip will descend towards the floor. That's it. Then move your head back and your throat open. Take another inhale, another exhale. Good. Come back to center, straighten your left leg, and as you exhale, reach forward. Set your hand to your shin, your right arm to the sky. Trikonasana. Soften the left knee a little bit. Remember, you can always adjust, right? And remember that you can also adjust back. Okay? If you adjust and you're like, nah, didn't really do much, you can always go back to where you came from. Move the head back and the shoulders back. Open the front of the throat and pull the navel in. Listen to your breathing. Good. Take another inhale and another exhale. Shoulders draw together behind you. Now inhale, come all the way up to stand. And as you exhale again, bend the left knee, warrior two. And then this time, carry the gaze forward, but keep your attention and awareness open through the right side. Right foot. Good. Breathe in and out. Steady and calm the mind. Take one more inhale into the heart, and as you exhale, set your hands to the floor. Inhale, step your left foot back. Again, you can keep it lifted as you lower. You could place the foot on the floor. You could lift the hips to downward dog. Right? If you've lowered down, of course, upward dog or cobra, and then back into downward facing dog pose. Breathe in and out. I know sometimes, at least I know for myself, when I'm standing in there, many paths, I'm like, well, which one? How do I know which one to take? And it's so much easier when someone kind of drops in and goes, go this way. Right? But the practice is asking us to rely on our own inner knowing. Right? Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, everything out. Bend the knees and jump, step, or walk up. Lift up halfway. Inhale, lengthen. Forward fold as you exhale. Inhale all the way to stand. Lift the arms to the sky. And exhale your hands to your heart center. So just close your eyes. This is like a practice of knowing and listening within without projecting our past onto this moment. Breathe in and out. Good. The path you walk is distinct and unique unto you. And even though others may go down a path that looks very similar, it is not their walk. And so this is why the balance, I think, of sattva helps us to illuminate our own inner knowing. We can take advice from others and we can listen to what others have been through and lessons they have learned. But it won't necessarily mean the same thing for us always. Maybe. We all each have our own unique way of walking through a path. Right? Take an inhale and exhale, lower the arms down now. I'll have you shift the weight into your left foot, lift and spread your toes, and then bend the right knee and reach back to capture your right foot with your right hand. Okay, now we're just gonna pause here for a moment. Bring your left hand onto your hip. So it's like pausing in front of the paths, right? Sometimes we see and we go, oh, I know this one. I'm gonna go that way. Or that looks great, I'm going there. Right? But we rarely pause to kind of reflect. So remember, draw your right knee back so it's in line with the left. Reach your right knee toward the floor and then spread the right toes and push the foot into the hand, but pull the foot in toward the hip at the same time. Now extend the left arm to the ceiling, but stay here and breathe in and breathe out. Draw back into the navel, spread your right toes in your hand and draw the right shoulder onto your back. Take a deep inhale breath here. On your exhale, lower your left hand to your hip and release your right foot. Bring your right knee forward, right hand to the hip. And then as you exhale, extend your right leg straight. You can keep your hands to your hips, or if you like, take them behind the back of the thigh. We'll extend through the right leg, just one more inhale and one more exhale. Good, bend the knee and lower your foot to the floor. Take an inhale and exhale a moment to shake it out. And breathe in and breathe out. Notice where tension might creep in, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. And so if you can just release it for a second, close your eyes, go back to that place within. Breathe in and out. Find your center through the navel, through the heart. Take another inhale and then we'll do the other side. So shift the weight into the right foot. Bend your left knee, reach back and capture your left foot with your hand. And then same thing, right hand lands to your hip and you're just gonna pause for a moment. It's like I'm gonna look at these paths and I can have my first initial judgment. Oh, that one looks nice. That one looks difficult. That one looks scary. And then you can pause and go, but what is that coming from? Right? And is that truth? And am I seeing accurately because I'm connected to a place of peace within? Now draw the left thigh back, remember. When you're ready, extend the right arm to the ceiling and just hold. Spread your left toes. Push your foot into your hand and pull the foot in towards the hip. Good. Take another inhale and another exhale. One more breath in, reach through the right hand, place it onto your hip, and then release your left foot, bring your left knee forward. And on your exhale, extend the left leg straight. Good. Take your hands behind the backs of the thigh and turn on your breathing a little bit. Good. Flex the toes, push through your heel. Good. Draw the navel in and lengthen through the crown as you ground through your right leg. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Good, and then inhale, set your feet onto the floor, steady and solid on the path, right? Take a breath in and a breath out. Good, bend the knees, lift the arms, inhale into chair pose again. This time fold forward and interlace the hands behind your back. Stretch the arms towards the sky as you breathe into the chest on your inhale. Maybe your arms descend overhead as your head relaxes. Take one more big breath in and one more breath out. Bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway, inhale, lengthen. Plant your hands, step, jump, or walk your feet back. You can go through chaturanga again if you like, or just lift your hips to downward facing dog, either one. Of course, upward dog or cobra then. Inhale, lift into the heart, and then back into downward dog. Pause here. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften the knees a little bit. Good, take another inhale, another exhale. Bring your legs together, and on your inhale, lift the right leg to the sky again. Bend the knee and draw the foot behind your back. This time, if you like, you can take the foot all the way onto the floor. So you flip your dog. Your hips will point up towards the ceiling if you've chosen that variation. The right arm can reach overhead. Draw the right shoulder onto the back and lift the heart. Let your head drop back. Good. If you flipped, come all the way back around. Extend the right leg, everyone. Inhale and exhale it through to the top of the mat. Come up now, standing crescent lunge. Inhale the arms to the sky. So square towards the front of the room. Right hip back, left hip forward. Take an inhale and exhale. All right, one more breath in here. And on your exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Place your hands to your hips and straighten your right leg. And then step the left foot forward just enough you can ground the sole of your left foot to the floor. So pyramid pose. And now right hand slides behind you. Left arm will reach up towards the sky. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward, but just come halfway down. Okay, inhale, come all the way back up to stand. And as you fold forward again, move your right hip back. Your left hip will come forward. Good. One more time. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale and come down halfway. And now pause here. Okay, can reach your right arm overhead as well. You could bring both hands to your hips or stay with opposite arms. You can stay right here, or if you like, shift the weight into your right foot and lift your left foot up and off the floor, balancing warrior 3. Breathe in and out. Think of the body as a conduit of energy. Lift the shoulders and lift the chest. Open the heart toward the floor. Yeah, whether your back foot is on the ground or off, keep lengthening the torso forward. Everybody, one more inhale. If you came up warrior 3, step back into pyramid pose. And then everybody in pyramid, fold forward over your right leg. Place your hands to the earth or onto your blocks. Fold your torso over your right leg and let your head relax. And breathe in and breathe out. Padottanasana. Good. One more inhale breath here and one more exhale. Step up to the top of the mat and bring your feet together. Bend your knees, lift your arms, inhale into chair pose. And now Garudasana, right leg over, right arm under, eagle pose. And breathe in and breathe out. And right knee on the ground. Right foot on the ground, if you want. Right knee, right foot. I'm sorry, yeah, you're good. Don't listen to me. Especially right now. Okay, just one more inhale, one more exhale. Sorry. Inhale, come all the way to stand. And then hands to heart. We're all human on the path, okay? We all stumble and fall a little bit. Right? Breathe in and out. Okay, take another inhale, another exhale. All right, release your arms, bend the knees, lift the arms, inhale, chair. Exhale and fold forward again. Hands behind the back again, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders on the back, breathe into the chest, inhale, exhale, and fold. Good, hands to shins, lift up halfway, inhale, lengthen. Plant your hands and step your feet back, plank pose. Pause and plank, take an inhale, shift forward a little bit. Exhale, lower all the way or stop halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Point your toes, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften the knees a little bit. Remember your intention, right? Notice your breathing. Clear in the mind. Take another inhale and exhale your big toes to touch. Lift the left leg to the sky on your inhale. Bend your knee and drop your foot behind your back. Option here to flip it if you did that on the first side, or if you'd like to on this side. The hips will lift towards the sky. The heart will start to turn open. And then the shoulder, left shoulder onto the back as the heart lifts up. Yeah, and then you can let your head drop back. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. If you flipped, come all the way back around. Extend your left leg, everyone, and pull it all the way through to the top of the mat. Standing crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Exhale, pause. Breathe in and breathe out. So it's good. It's easy. You can go to sattva for a moment, but now it's about like sustaining sattva. Right? Take another inhale as you exhale. Bring your hands to your heart and then onto your hips. Straighten your left leg. And now step the right foot up again, enough you can ground the sole of the foot to the floor, pyramid pose. Slide your left hand behind, lift the right arm towards the sky. Take an inhale, soften the knees a little bit, and then exhale, fold forward. And as you do, move your left hip back. Yeah, good. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand and do it again on your exhale. Root through your right foot as you hinge forward. Come up one more time on your inhale and exhale. So it's right arm forward, left hand behind, right? And then you'll pause here, take an inhale and exhale. Lengthen forward, maybe left arm reaches forward now, or hands come to the hips. You could step onto the left foot and lift the right foot from the floor, balancing warrior 3. If you do that variation, fire up that right foot. Good, breathe in and breathe out. Imagine I could grab your hands and pull you a little closer towards the front of the room, and someone grabbed your foot, pulling it a little bit further back. Now everybody take another inhale, another exhale. If you lifted warrior 3, you're gonna set your foot down onto the back of the mat or floor, and then fold forward as you exhale. So everyone now over this left leg, breathe in and out. Ground down through the inside of your left foot and move your left hip back. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lengthen through the spine. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, exhale your feet together. Bend the knees, lift the arms. Chair pose, Utkatasana. And then Garudasana, left leg over, left arm under. What I was trying to communicate before is that there's a variation of your left toes on the earth here. So even though the weight is in the right leg, the left toes could come down for balance. I just massively miscommunicated that. And then the left heel hugs in. If it's not on the floor, right, left knee moves left, right knee moves right. Lift the elbows and roll the shoulders back and down. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Soften the jaw, relax your eyes. One more inhale and one more exhale. Beautiful. And then unwind. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And breathe in and breathe out. There's always a coloring, right? Things that happen will elicit a different state of mind. Right, and it's, I think, unrealistic to expect ourselves to always be in a sattvic state, to always have an experience be like peaceful and clear and illuminative. There are bound to be situations where the mind will react and get unstable, if you will, or irritated, agitated, disturbed. And other situations where it will be foggy and hard to see. And remember that it's less about like controlling those things, but rather about noticing and then using the practices we know to establish a clarity of mind. Take another inhale as you exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, lift them to the sky again, reach up. Bend your knees once again into chair pose, Utkatasana. Good, take an inhale, lift into the heart, reach through your hands forward, fold, interlace the fingers again. Take an inhale breath here into the heart, breathe into the chest, exhale, fold forward, relax your eyes. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine, and then plant your hands and step your feet back, plank pose. And pause in plank for a moment. right? Like here's an example. Plank pose, right? Not always is it easy to fight a peaceful mind in plank. There's a memory, probably, most likely, of plank pose, of whether you like it or not, what relation you have with it. And then how it elicits the feeling of like strength or weakness, right? And then how we relate to that. You can lift your gaze a little bit so your head like comes in line with the rest of the spine. Pull the navel in and squeeze the inner thighs together. Now inhale, shift the weight forward a little, and as you exhale, lower to the floor. Drop knees, bend your elbows, lower chest, all the way down. And then when you get to the earth, now bring your arms by your sides and turn your head to one side and breathe in and breathe out. So there's a very real practice here of kind of healing past impressions. Right? That just because, let's say, for example, plank pose is like a pose you maybe have identified at one point in time as quote unquote your least favorite pose. You can actually change your relationship with it. Turn your head to the other side. You can also choose to keep it your least favorite pose. But it's not going to make it go away. Right? I think that's the thing. And that, I think, is where our path really can help us progress. Right? If we're willing to and open to changing whatever our past experience is. Okay? Take a breath in and a breath out. Bring your head back to center and take your hands behind you, just like they are, just on the floor, but palms down. And then squeeze the legs together. Good. On your inhale, lift everything away from the floor. Come into locust pose and hold the posture. Squeeze in from your inner thighs and the shins. Imagine maybe one day your knees touching together. Lift the shoulders onto the back and extend back through your fingers, and then lift your gaze a little bit so you lengthen through the crown. Take a deep inhale breath here, lift up and away from the floor, and as you exhale, lower back down to the earth. And turn your head to one side and breathe in and breathe out. Now, it's one thing to change your relationship out of your with yourself, out of your own desire to. And it's another when we involve someone else. Right? Turn your head to the other side and breathe in and breathe out. Like if you want to change the patterning with someone else, it's going to be a lot more difficult unless you have the buy-in from the other person. Right? Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, bring yourself back to center. Now you can do the same pose. We're going to offer here, bend your knees and reach back to capture your feet. Dhanurasana, bow holding pose. Okay, so you choose either one. Let your low back help you decide. Okay, if the low back feels better with legs straight, you go there. And then whenever you're ready, on your inhale, everybody lifts up and away from the earth. If you do have your feet in your hands, it's the same as we did in our standing prep pose for dancer. You're going to spread your toes nice and wide and push the feet into the hands and the hands into the feet. And then lift up towards the sky. Imagine your body like a little teardrop or a raindrop. Now take one more inhale, everyone. Lift up as much as you can away from the earth, and on your exhale, slowly lower to the ground. Breathe in and breathe out. This is not to say also that our past impressions all need to be redone or organized. Mostly, and most namely, the ones that cause disharmony and discomfort and conflict, right? Turn your head to the other side and breathe in and breathe out. Not that we're necessarily striving also for a place that's always free from conflict, but that we start to build the tools and develop the resiliency to see ourselves through times of conflict. Okay, and breathe in and breathe out. All right, we've got one more. So you're going to come back to center with your head. You're going to bend your knees and reach back to capture your feet or keep your legs straight. Then whenever you're ready, on your inhale, lift up and away from the floor and breathe in and breathe out. Good. This is a pose where classically, at least I know in my experience, the teacher gets very animated and we have to lift up really high and it gets very rajasic because it's hard to hold. But instead, just see if you can be here. No big deal. No unnecessary stress or drama, right? Just take another inhale to lift up. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down. Good, and breathe in and breathe out. That's what at least I understand, and in my experience, sattva brings. is an ability to go, wow, you used to get really torn up about something, X, Y, and Z. You used to get really twisted up about a certain act someone would do or a relationship. And now it becomes, what does that do for me? Turn the head to the other side and breathe in and breathe out. How does that destabilize my own center? So as much as on the journey, we are connecting with one another and remembering all that we are connected to, we are also individuating. This works for me, this doesn't work for me. This used to work for me and now it doesn't. This didn't ever work for me and now it does. Bring your head back to center and push yourselves into child's pose, please. Balasana. Breathe in and breathe out. And so it's also the ask that we are malleable and adaptable through our practice and throughout our lives. That's simply because we have found something at some point that worked for that moment. It's not necessarily always the tool. Doesn't mean it's not. But we have to be kind of quick on our feet, right? Ready for another kind of adaptation. And the bonus is that as humans, we're really good at that. We're actually really innately kind of wired towards adapting. And take another inhale, another exhale, and come onto the hands and the knees, please. And then onto the sitting bones. You'll extend the legs forward now, but take the right leg out to the side and fold your left foot in. You're going to lift the right arm to the ceiling and bring your left hand out to the side. You're going to bend your elbows so your elbow's in line with your shoulder. Flex your right foot and sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're just going to tilt towards the side. So right hand comes down towards your right foot. Your left arm's just going to stay right as it is. Then inhale, come back up to this little shape. And do that again as you exhale. Again, let your left elbow and shoulder align. Inhale, lift the right arm back up towards the sky. Lengthen, and as you exhale, reach down towards your foot. Now hold your foot inside and outside, inside or outside. And now inhale, extend the left arm over your head. And as you exhale, bend your left elbow and draw it back so you can pull the shoulder onto the back. Good, you'll do that again. Inhale, the left arm lifts overhead. Then exhale, bend your elbow and draw the shoulder blade onto the back. Lift open the heart. Do that one more time on your inhale. Reach the arm overhead. And then exhale, bend your elbow. Place your hand now behind the back of the head. Push the head into the hand and open the front of the throat. Pull the navel in and rotate your heart open towards the sky. And now notice if your right arm is like forcing and see if you can relax it. Take a breath in. And then a breath out. Awesome. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your right arm back up to center and then lower both hands onto your knee. Pause here for a moment, a breath in and a breath out. Good, and then switch sides. Left leg out, right leg in. Okay, right arm comes out like your little cactus, left arm lifts up towards the sky. Take an inhale and lengthen, then an exhale, tilt. Left hand down towards left ankle. Right elbow will stay as it is, right arm as it is. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale again. Out and down. Inhale, come all the way up and reach through the left arm. And then exhale, keep the length as you lengthen down. Now stay. Inhale, reach the right arm overhead. Exhale, bend your elbow and draw the shoulder onto the back, lift open the heart. Good, inhale again, extend. Exhale, draw the arm back, bend your elbow. Do it one more time. Inhale, reach out of the waist. And then exhale, bend the elbow, plant your hand behind the back of the head. And open the front of the throat. Push the head back. Breathe in and out. Breathe into the right side chest. And then notice if your left arm wants to kind of take to the pose for you and see if instead you can relax. Then let the right side of the body kind of open. Breathe in and out. Move that head back, throat open. And then like with sweetness, Maduri. Good, one more inhale and one more exhale. Awesome, lift the left arm, come back up to seated and exhale, place the hands to the knees. And then bring the soles of the feet together again, Baddha Konasana. Clasp the ankles, lift the chest on your inhale, lift open the heart, and then fold forward. Press your elbows to the upper inner thighs. Draw the shoulders back and down. Breathe in and out. So there's all sorts of tests, right, to see if you can maintain sattva, like the news. That's a good one. Take an inhale, lift the heart, and as you exhale, pull forward. Some of you are like, nope, can't do it, so I don't watch the news, right? Okay, that's fair. And inhale, come up to seated, and exhale, pause, bring your knees together, then I'll have you come to the middle part of your mat, I'll have you lay down. Actually, turn your heads forward and lay down. So if you will, just turn around, so your head's face forward and your feet face back. Sometimes it's the same in situations or relationships. Like, nope, can't maintain my center, so I can't be around this person. Right, and that's okay. It's not to say that you have to then step into situations that cause a great deal of disturbance and stay there and stay there until you're able to find center. But that we can use these as little tests, little litmus tests, right? Like, how am I doing with finding my center? Can I entertain 10 minutes of news? And if the answer is still then no, then that's okay, right? We just know we have some more work to do or different places that we can test. And so here, we just get a chance to relax and to rest and to let there be ease and to let some of those things that maybe we're holding on to die away. This is, after all, the pose of the corpse. So body still, now mind open. Feel everything relax. Let your body be heavy on the earth. Let the earth hold you. And give over to her anything that you don't need to carry. Anything that causes disturbance or that brings a cloudiness and a misunderstanding, see if you can release it away. Body still, vast in the mind, like the sky. Your eyes be heavy, your jaw be heavy. Sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavai tejasvinavadhitamastu mavid vishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu mavid vishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And now begin to bring awareness back to your physical body. Slowly begin to move your fingers and toes and start to rotate the wrists and ankles. Reach your arms up and over your head and stretch all the way from fingers to toes, and then bring the knees to the chest and give yourself a great big hug. Just take a moment to extend some gratitude to yourself for stepping onto your mat, for coming to your practice today. And you can roll to the right or the left, and when you're ready, we'll come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take a moment just to seal up our practice and time together. You just turn to face forward or in a little bit. Just rest the hands to the knees, palms up or down, thumb and first finger together. Once we glimpse, I think, the state of sattva, then the practice becomes returning back to that place, but also kind of recognizing that that state will shift and change as well. And that each situation has its own place of sattva. And so not only is the state itself somewhat changeable and changing, but the way that we get there is also changeable and changing. The way that we maintain it, same. Our ability to maintain will change also. There may be some situations where no problem, it's hardly any effort to remain steady and centered and sattvic. And other situations, so much harder. And so along the journey, remember, we're also establishing self-compassion and the remembrance that we are, humans. And that we will make mistakes and we can stumble and fall, and that those things don't have to be that which defines us, but where we are for the majority of our time. As you bring your hands back together at the center of the heart, remember that this is the practice, right? This is the practice to come into the state of sattva and ultimately even move beyond. But we'll just take one step at a time. And if you feel like this is the whole thing, right? If you feel like your practice is really strong, they say go spend a week with your family. Or out of your little bubble, right? It's one thing to find sattva there, and it's another when your sattva gets challenged. So herein lies our practice and our journey, and we remember that we are humans on this path, and we are surrounded by other humans on the path. And we're all in different places, and so may we add some love and compassion and understanding into the field. Not only for others, but of course for our own selves. And we'll seal down with a chant of Om, but first take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. Inhale for Om. As you exhale, bow the chin in. Honor the love and compassion that lies in your heart and the hearts of all beings. The teacher that guides our way. You know, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Hari Om. So thank you all so much for being here this morning. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday and take good care of yourselves. All right. We'll see you next time. Okay. Hopefully sooner than later. Many blessings. Much love, everybody. What are you doing?
I came last night with the phone and I was like, why don't I?
Are you just up the street? No, you're.
So, yeah, I'm looking.
Okay, good. How was it last time? So good. Was it cool? Oh, good. Good. I'll have to come up next time. I've been like so stupid busy. Yeah. I know. So much. We're good later too. And it's a trip. I'll see you later. Okay. Do you want to? Good. Good. Like overall, good. But it's like a whole other.
I'm sorry.
But it's not. It's yeah. But it's interesting. That one just finished. And we started another one. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. So it's fun. But exactly. I don't know how
It's growing.
Acknowledge it and then you can. Yes.
Yeah. We need to work out.
Just as slow. Keep my eyes on you. But yes, whatever.